You know that game where you have to fight monsters and find crystals to improve your powers and loadout? This game where crystals, colorful as they were, will keep you busy for long hours of grinding. You know that game, right? No, not this one. This one. What's up, people? iX-Acht here, and I'm back with another Anthem video guide about random encounters and world events. So I spent the last week grinding like hell in Anthem, and based on the footage I got, I told myself it would be interesting to list all the world events I have been through lately, some of which have been kinda puzzling, I must say. But before I do, what's the big difference between world events and random encounters? First, let's make it clear, these two only appear in Freeplay. Random encounters refers to the enemy faction that you may end up fighting against as you explore Anthem's open world, or when your cipher won't especially say anything when you get near one. They are usually found in specific locations, either on the map or in dungeons. They display as a gate icon on the map. One location will most of the time feature one enemy faction. For example, after 5 attempts, I kept encountering the outlaws in the Hollow, not far from the Academy Ruins spawn point. Random encounters are based on a wave system, with stronger enemies appearing as you progress, and you have to kill them to reach the budget. For example, when you encounter scars, you'll have to kill a few scrappers or scouts for hunters, destroyers, and enforcers to finally spawn. There's also a rare Scar Luminary encounter with a different wave composition. Same rule goes with the main other two factions. Dominion encounters will first be comprised of shock troopers, then brutes will spawn, and then the fucking frost hounds will join the party with at least one Valkyrie to help them out. I'll make a video soon. The Outlaw faction works the same, outlaws and gunners, then 3 shotgunners will appear, then a lancer and a couple of elementalists will finally rejoin. Random encounters will not reward you with any treasure chest, but as you kill the baddies, you may end up with a couple of crystals, and it's good for practice anyway. It's also a good way to tackle the weekly factions trial. So what about world events? These events activate as you explore specific areas in the world. You know there's one when Owen tells you so and a purple icon pops up on your screen. Unlike random encounters, a world event is based on an objective as well as on 1 or 2 enemy factions. But similarly to random encounters though, it's based on a wave system. Therefore, there are many possibilities as to what you may come up with. Even more as scorpions, ash titans, and wildlife constitute their own enemy factions. So what about the objectives? There's a score of them, so let's sum them up in as few categories as possible. Picking up a number of objects. One of the easiest because it's straightforward. You move from one object to the next, and to the next, and to the next. A variation of this objective is finding intelligence, but it's the same mechanic. Recovering shit. Echoes and fragments have a drop point you need to come back to. The only difference being, echoes are usually above you, floating in the air, and you may carry 3 of those, while fragments are lying on the ground, you may carry only 1, and you cannot fly while holding it. Taking off targets. It might be enemy stuff, like stockpiles, camps, turrets, and scorpion eggs clusters. Or enemy VIPs, usually boss or mini-boss enemies. Could be a titan though. Some objective might be dynamic. For fragment recovery it may happen that the last fragment is stolen from you, so you must kill the targeted enemy to get it back. Another objective is defeat waves of enemies. It's based on the same logic as random encounters, as enemies become tougher and tougher wave after wave. A more dynamic variation of this objective requires that you support an ally. It might be sentinels, an agent, or another freelancer. Kill waves of enemies, including wildlife, and complete an objective. It might be a fragment recovery, repairing a strider, a boss enemy you have to take down, like Ursix, or simply an escort, provided they survive. If they're KO, you may repair their javelin, which is good to know when you have to complete the daily repair challenge. Hacking. This one starts out as support an ally, but it may happen that this ally is dead. In that case, you may be asked to stick around the wretched body of your paw as your cipher gathers information as to what happened. It's hacking in disguise, basically. Timed objectives. On hard difficulty, I don't know about others though, you have about 45 seconds to complete an objective. Disabling nodes requires that you fly around the area and go through these bright spots, or destroying stuff before Titan is summoned. In any case, timed objectives have enemies you must also deal with, making them somewhat more difficult than all the others. When the objective is complete and all the enemies have been cleared, or if they fled, a treasure chest will spawn, and that's how you get to loot. Depending on the server, random encounters and world events may be very different, and you may end up fighting outlaws all the time in a server and then never see them again in the next. Well, except if you know where to find them. The Hollow is the place to go. Thanks for watching, I hope I was exhaustive enough for you to find this video helpful. iX-Acht out, see you in the next, bye.